One particular type of alarm that we would need to get our heads around and make sure that we understand, because it's so powerful, especially in the elemental stack, is the flow alert. And I'll give you a couple of examples of this. So if you imagine a typical alarm is defined as something like, database CPU exceeds 95%, streaming latency exceeds 200 milliseconds, and so on. A flow alert is chaining together all of those different smaller alarms into a single cohesive flow. So to give you an idea of what that looks like, here's a particular alarm. Now, in order for this whole alarm to trigger, some things have to happen in sequence. Firstly, there have to be either 1,000 concurrent sessions on the site, or there have to be a higher than normal CloudFront egress bytes. In other words, we're pushing a lot more stream data out to customers. And then we see ADS response performance is greater than 60 seconds, so that's bad. Or transcode performance is greater than 20 seconds. So these, obviously we can tweak these values to match whatever the use cases that you have and what is operationally important for you, but this is the idea. And that has to happen within an hour. And then within up to an hour, we start seeing either vast errors, we see transcode errors, or we see transcoding error rate exceeds 1% of your streams. Now, on their own, these are quite important. These are less interesting, and some of these could be worrying or not worrying. But if you get any of these alarms individually, what you're missing is the root cause, and that's what this incident will do. It will trigger when and give you the full root cause when the alarm fires. So that's like an operational example that I think is really, really interesting. There are loads of other examples, by the way. So you can say, for example, that we're seeing vast error spikes occurring, and vast error spikes can be for a number of reasons. You can define that alarm as you want, followed by ADS poor response performance or transcode poor response performance. And what that means for you is when you see that the performance is tanking on the ADS side, you go, what happened? Oh, vast error spike triggered. I'll go look at my vast errors, which I'm able to do because I can directly query my logs now without any of the associated costs. So what this means for you is the ability to chain together multiple events into a single cohesive flow, such that you can trigger alarms based on a story, an orchestration of events that have occurred over time, and not just simply being told the individual things, which in and of themselves are useful to know, but there's a much more useful way of organizing this information. So that's what the flow alerts do. They chain together multiple alerts from multiple different systems. In there you've just seen CloudFront, Media, Tailor. You could chain the entire elemental stack into a single cohesive flow alert and then group it, for example, by session ID, by username, you could group it by the origin on which it's being alerted. All of these keys are available to you because they're part of the Media Tailor and elemental log stack, and Coralogix has indexed them or tracked them in a schema if you've chosen not to index them. And all of this means that you get access to your data, you can alert on it, trigger on it, and you can be told ahead of time. And the other thing, just to reiterate, these flow alerts are extremely powerful. So you can do lots of logic and things like that in there. So if I open up one of these, for example, you'll see here that I have all these and or logic points here. So I can say, for example, that we can say here that either 1,000 concurrent streams in 5 minutes or CloudFront egress bytes higher than usual. I set that to and now both of those things have to be true. It's the same thing for here, and I can do it in a nested way. So these two and, so it's either vast errors or this and this. So really, really powerful, really easy way. And of course, you can negate each one as well. Again, if you want to know more about the flow alerts themselves, check out the Getting to Know Coralogix course. That's where you'll find out about how to configure flow alerts to get the most out of the feature. But in the case of the elemental stack, I just wanted to show you a few common examples that would typically take, at the very least, optimistically a few minutes to work out the root cause and take that down to 0 seconds, because as soon as the alarm fires, you know what the root cause is.